Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aging and Spirituality, and welcome to the new year. And we hope to inspire you to have a healthier, happier, more fulfilling new year. Today, we're going to talk about letting go to begin again, inner peace through renunciation. If that sounds scary to you, you got to listen because it's not scary. Uh, at the beginning of the year, we all feel this kind of mix of emotions, hope, reflection, maybe a little uncertainty, and there's this pressure in the air to improve yourself, to set goals, to set resolutions, to do more, to be more. But today, I want to make a different invitation to you. What if this new year isn't about adding anything at all, but what if it's about letting go? In yoga, we talk a lot about experiencing our true self, that inner power and joy, isn't about attaining anything. It's about letting go of what stands in our way. So in this episode, we're going to talk about renunciation, not as withdrawal from life, but as a gentle settling of the mind. We're going to reflect on how shedding desires, fears, aversions, and attachments can help you find greater inner peace, especially as we age and our priorities begin to shift a little bit. So let's start out the new year and looking at the weight that we carry.
Mm.
The new year comes with a sense of evaluation. We look back, we take stock, we notice what we didn't do, what we wish we'd done differently, what we hope might still change. As we get older, this kind of reflection can feel a little deeper, maybe heavier. We've lived a long time. So we've lived long enough to know that not everything turns out the way we planned. We've gathered experience, for sure. We've gathered experience.
No.
Yeah, right. We've got these experiences,
Sorry.
these identities, these expectations along the way. Some of them enrich us, and some of them quietly weigh us down, or not so quietly weigh us down. Won't. There's a kind of tiredness that doesn't come from age. It comes from holding on.
Oh, wow.
How holding on to how we think life should be. I try to work on this with my daughter because she wears herself out with thinking about how life should be. Holding on to who we think we should be. Well, you know my daughter. I mean, she expresses herself in
Poor Theo is picking on her.
I know. I know.
We're all doing this. I'm recognizing myself in this, like right here, right now. Hold on.
We hold
Go
on to
for it.
fears about what might happen next. So, before I go any further, I want you to just gently ask yourself, what am I carrying into this new year that feels heavy? There's no need to answer or to do anything about it. Just notice it.
Ugh. Can I answer out loud?
Out loud, please. It'll help us.
This is helping me already, because I've just spent a half an hour telling Chris what I feel I'm burdened with, and when she says it the way she just did, it makes me think, wow, I'm really just carrying the fear of what could be that I have no idea is actually going to happen, but I'm worried it might,
Yeah?
so
Yeah.
now but I'm carrying that weight with me instead of just saying, okay, it might happen, but it might not too, So there's that feeling of release, like just let it go. As you get there, you'll deal with it as you do in everything in life, but don't carry this heaviness with you the whole way until, you actually have to make the decisions
Right.
when it comes to your health or whatever it is. So yeah, thank you for that already. You're not even 2 minutes in and I'm feeling better.
Good. Good. That's the goal. That's the goal. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about what renunciation really means. And it can sound intimidating, and it might bring to mind images of giving things up, of withdrawing from the world, or denying yourself's pleasure or connection. But in yoga, renunciation, which is known as sannyas or vairagya, I don't know that other Sanskrit word really well, but sannyas is a good word. It means something much softer and more compassionate.
Mm.
Renunciation is not about rejecting life. It's about loosening our grip. It's the practice of not being so tightly attached to outcomes, identities, and inner stories that we lose our sense of peace. It's about allowing life to be as it is without constantly pushing and pulling.
Mm.
You might say,
That,
go ahead.
oh, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you're just hitting me on the head. Like that's exactly what I've been doing.
Good. Good.
Mhm. Therapy in session right now.
There you go. And you might think of it this way. Renunciation is the relief you feel when you finally put down something you didn't realize you were carrying.
Interesting. I've never heard that description before. Say that again.
Renunciation is the relief you feel when you finally put down something you didn't realize you were carrying.
I'm writing that one down.
And this is where aging offers us wisdom. With
Yeah.
time, many of us begin to sense that striving doesn't bring the fulfillment we once thought it would. We start to value simplicity, steadiness, and ease, hopefully. Renunciation isn't something we force, it's something we grow into. So I want to talk about the four agitators of the mind, because renunciation is about letting go of these things. In yoga, it's said that the mind is often unsettled by four powerful forces: desires, fears, aversions, and attractions. And desires and attractions are similar, fears and aversions are similar, but they're a little different. So we're going to explore each of those. Desire isn't inherently bad, but when we believe we need something to be different in order to be okay, desire makes us restless. As we age, desires often shift, but they don't disappear, and we may long for health, security, recognition, or certainty. But what renunciation says is, can I be at ease even if this desire isn't fulfilled right now? Do I really need this desire? Like in yoga, the main desire, we say, you should have this desire for spirit or higher consciousness.
Well, that's the, can I ask a question? That's the distinction you're making. And I can hear, a million of our younger generation say, well, how am I supposed to manifest something if I can't have a desire and put my focus on it and attract it, into my world kind of thing. But
Well,
what you're saying is making the distinction of what spirit wants for you.
yeah. And also, younger people, and I think many of them know this, when they want a relationship really badly and it doesn't come, it just doesn't come. And then they just let go of it. Okay, I'm fine the way I am.
Hmm.
Boom, a
Yeah,
relationship.
something happens.
Something happens because
Yeah.
the clutching that we do when we desire something so intensely actually blocks it. It can
Well,
have,
it's like an expectation, right? You're
yeah,
expecting something to happen and you're kind of holding on,
yeah,
waiting.
right, right. And a lot of times, like if we take a desire break and then we realize, do I really need this desire? Do I really need this? And can I be myself and at ease and if I don't get it? That's the key.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
And then there's fears. Now, fear can become more pronounced with age. Fear of illness, loss, dependency, the unknown. Fear tightens the body and narrows the mind. It literally narrows the mind. Renunciation doesn't mean pretending you're not afraid. It means not letting the fear run your inner life. It's like it's whispering, I can meet this moment without knowing everything. And we're going to do a practice a little later to help us let go of desires and fears. Uh, But just, we're going to get there because we're going to talk about aversions and attractions too. So the aversions, which are slightly different than fears, aversions are things we resist. So they're fears too, but, and maybe a softer level, discomfort, change, decline, grief. We spend enormous energy pushing away what we don't want to feel. What if we just let that go? I mean, does our energy trying to push it away make it not happen? No. Perhaps if we were content and settled and relaxed, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe that might be a stronger
Do
way.
I have to feel it if I let go? That's what I'm thinking as you're talking. Does, does it just go away?
It's not something that it's not like it happens in the flash of a twinkling of an eye, but it does. Well, we'll see when we do the desire and fear break.
Okay.
You do it for 5 minutes and you feel so good. You feel so content and so at peace. And you can make better choices. You're not being pulled by the energy of that fear or desire. You're centered.
Yeah.
And renunciation says about aversions is actually, psychologists say resistance amplifies suffering. But renunciation says, I don't have to fight what is already here.
Mm.
You don't have to fight it. That's something I had to learn a lot because I was a fighter.
Okay.
Attractions include clinging to roles, identities, and past versions of ourselves, who we used to be, what we used to do, how life used to look. So letting go of these can be a very tender process, but peace emerges when we allow ourselves to evolve,
Mm.
not like uh, I'm this person. Well, I'll tell you about this person I know
Okay.
who taught yoga for years, and then she started having some cognition problems. And she was clinging on to her identity as a yoga teacher. And she got
Okay.
to a place where she could not do that anymore. And she was just fighting and created so much anxiety for herself. Whereas if you can see this, if you can just try to relax into something, okay, this is an attraction. I'm going to shed it. Don't need it right now. I'm free.
Mm.
True full renunciation means you don't have any, you're not asking for anything for yourself.
So,
And it's a very, yeah, it's a very peaceful place.
yeah,
So aging can be a way to show us how to let go. It can be help us with that.
that's for sure.
It naturally invites renunciation. We can let go of certain roles, of certain expectations, the illusion of control. And while this can feel like loss, it can also feel like liberation. We don't need all this. With fewer distractions, we can be more clear. With less striving, we can be more deep. With acceptance, we gain peace. This doesn't mean aging is easy, it means it is meaningful. Inner peace doesn't come from perfect circumstances, it comes from a settled relationship with change. I talked to a psychologist once. I was traveling on, my daughter was little, we were in Mexico, and we were traveling on the beach, and he was observing some things about us. And we did he wanted to do these psychological tests because he thought my daughter was particularly well balanced and had this incredible vocabulary for a 1-year-old. And so when he did the tests, he told me that, I was very well adjusted. And my ex-husband was saying, blah, 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 no, she doesn't see this. And the psychologist said, no, he said, you're excessive. She's good. And what he said to me was, I told him about when I studied psychology in college, and I said, I came out less neurotic. The average person is very neurotic. That's normal. And if you're less neurotic than average, you could be a total psychotic. So I studied this in college, and I came out less neurotic than average, and I was always worried that I was completely nuts. And it was in the back of my head. It was there. It was there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
Didn't
so
know-
I shared this with this guy, and he cracked up. He said, that's the problem when they teach psychology in college. He said, either they didn't tell you or they didn't mention it much because the emphasis is so much on the problems. He said 3% of the population is more well-adjusted than average.
Mm.
I've observed your behavior. You don't know what it means to be well-adjusted. I'm going to explain to you. He said, when there's a problem, he said, like when your child got sick, he said, you have the appropriate emotional reaction, and then very quickly you shift into accepting the situation, and then, okay, now what am I going to do about it? He said, that's being well adjusted. He said, most people will flail against it, they'll get angry, they'll throw a fit, and they'll put all this energy into resisting. So, but very quickly you move into accepting this is what's happening. That helped me a lot to understand things.
Wow. Yeah.
And in yoga, I see it. I mean, one of the main things in yoga is contentment, because you have to, okay, this is what's happening. Accept it, stay in a peaceful place. And then, make your plans. You don't just sit there and not deal with things, but you deal with it from that place, not from
Or being angry, which is what I was doing
well,
when I was getting,
that's
yeah.
a normal thing. So anyway, uh, there are a couple different practices I could do here, but I'm getting a feeling we should really do the desire and fear break. Now, we're going to
Me.
do this. I'd like to do it for 5 minutes, and we'll do it for like 2.5 minutes on desires, and then I'll come in and have a shed fears because I think it's so valuable. I mean, there was a quicker, faster practice we could do, but I just get the feeling that this is going to be more beneficial for the people listening. So I'm going to time us.
Good. Okay.
Look at my clock here. Okay. So just sit calmly. Let's take a couple of really deep breaths. Already you feel better, right?
Yes.
Mm. Now you can close your eyes. And now you're not going to have to do anything. If a desire, anything you want, or holding attracted to comes up, but let's just stick with desires. Any desire at all, for this brief period of 2.5 minutes, can you just shed it? Just let it go for this short period of time. Let yourself be free. If your mind gets lost in the desire, just bring it back. Take another deep breath. Just try to shed it like water rolling off a duck's back. It's only a couple minutes. You have to be free. Keep shedding your desires. If a fear comes up, shed that too. So just let it roll off. It's just for a couple minutes. You don't need it. Just let it fall away. Okay, so that was 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5 minutes. It was probably the best 5 minutes you're going to start your year with.
I think you're right.
It's important to remember that when we're talking about renunciation, it's not cold or detached, it's very compassionate. Where when we get to let go of what agitates our mind, we make room for kindness, for clarity. We respond to life rather than reacting to it. And it
Yeah.
allows us to be fully human without being overwhelmed by our inner world. So as the new year begins, consider, just consider, what am I ready to gently lay down? You know, it won't, inner peace may not arrive all at once, but it grows. I can tell you that. I mean, this 5 minutes that we just did, I know it impacted me. How about you?
Definitely. Definitely. I was carrying such a burden coming into this year, feeling like it was going to be a really potentially devastating, physical problem kind of situation this year. Now I'm feeling lighter that there's answers I probably haven't sought out yet, and I feel more open to go and figure out, okay, what are my alternatives here? What can I expect? So yeah, I feel less despondent, like it's not over yet.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. So, listeners, work with it. This is a great time to do it. Start the year off.
yeah, it's powerful. It's very powerful. That just being in there and letting go, it's like when you were doing it, my mind wants to say, oh, what the is letting go? What does that mean? And I've been doing this for how many years, right? So there's got to be other people out there that are feeling exactly the same way. But if you notice, she didn't push you or try to tell you how to do it. She just gave you the words and the energy of what it means to let go of. Pay attention to how that felt when you were letting go so you can make it a habit, so you can, have it as a tool that you take with you. I think, between letting go and the idea of surrender, they're the biggest tools that I've learned on the yoga path. And still yet here I am, forgetting how to apply it in a situation where I was just feeling emotionally despondent. So thank you for that great reminder.
Yeah, it does. It happens to all of us. That's why we need these
Sure.
tools. We need
Often.
tools. Mhm.
Yes, that's why the yoga center exists, folks. Go
Yes.
to the yoga center in Costa Mesa and do all these fun practices.
Yeah. Or come to our online classes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yogacenter.org
Yeah.
to find our online classes.
Yeah. Yeah. It helps. So
Oh,
thank you all for joining us today. Come if this has been helpful to you, to come join us, come to our YouTube channel and like us, subscribe, and
yes.
comment. Tell us what helped you, what didn't help you, what you like.
Yeah, it really helps. We got a cool comment last week. I can't remember what the woman said, but she really enjoyed the talk that we had last time and did the practice. And it's really fulfilling to hear people benefit. Like you can see, I was changed today. Like that can happen every time you hear one of these conversations
Right.
because these yoga talks are really powerful
Yeah,
and they're really helpful. So just keep coming back to the
yeah.
channel and
We're really sharing our experiences here.
no doubt, yeah, like up to the minute.
Yes.
This is yoga in action.
So thank
Thanks, teacher. See you, everyone. See you next week.
you.